The purpose of this lab will be to assist you with setting up a trading platform, and for that I'm going to use thinkorswim because thinkorswim has a lot of educational features built into their website, and they also have the ability to submit bracket orders. A bracket order is going to be one single order consisting of three parts: your entry, your stop loss, and your target. And being able to do that is going to be very conducive to this trade strategy. So you're going to need to have that ability whether you choose to go to with thinkorswim or not. So at any rate, you're going to pull up your Google search bar. You can just type in thinkorswim. That should bring you to this page. You're going to click on thinkorswim desktop. That should bring you to this TD Ameritrade website. If you do not have a TD Ameritrade account, you will need to set up a cash account. Okay. Once you've set up your cash account with TD Ameritrade, then you will come to this page. You click on download now, and that will download the platform to your computer. Once you've downloaded the application to your computer, you're going to log into the application using the same username and password that you used to set up your TD Ameritrade account. If you're not comfortable with setting up your TD Ameritrade account online, you can always call them and they will walk you through the process over the phone. All right, so with regard to assist you with getting set up, I'm going to move into a video and we're going to explain the features of the thinkorswim application and how you can navigate some of the tools and basically get familiar with the overall platform.
Hello traders, I'm Michael Bocinas, Senior Content Producer here at TD Ameritrade. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can start customizing the thinkorswim desktop platform as a stock trader. Now, by no means is this an exhaustive list on how you can customize thinkorswim, but it should get you started in key features of the software. For example, we're going to look at ways to customize your left-hand sidebar with different watch lists. We're going to go over to the charts tab, and I'm going to show you how to create styles and studies, and then save that so you can apply it to future charts that you create. And finally, we're going to look at ways to create custom order templates, specifically how to create a customized OCO bracket. So let's jump in and get started. Okay, to get started, the first thing I'm going to do is set up some watch lists in our left-hand sidebar. I'm going to get rid of some of the gadgets that are loaded here by default. To do that, I'm going to click the gear wheel at the bottom of our screen, and let's get rid of Live News, Trader TV, and Quick Chart. And the first thing I'm going to do to create my own watch list is select the menu here at the top, and then select Create Watch List. First thing we'll do is give it a name. We're going to call this Markets Overview. And let's add the 4 major indices. We'll start with the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the Russell 2000. When we're ready, we're going to click Save. Now you can see our custom watch list has been loaded here at the top. Now if we want to add symbols to this watch list, we don't have to go through that process. We can simply put our mouse in the symbol column of the last row of this watch list. And by doing that, we can add more symbols. So maybe we want to keep track of volatility, what the VIX is doing. So we can type in VIX. Maybe we want to look at some stocks that we're interested in trading. So for this example, let's just add the FANG stocks. So I'll add Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Alphabet. Now the second watch list I want to add is our sector-specific watch list tracking the different sectors of the S&P 500. To access that, we're going to add a watch list to our sidebar by clicking the plus sign and selecting watch list. And now we have a second watch list loaded within our left-hand sidebar. Now to access the pre-built watch list, we'll go back to this menu. And then in this middle section where we have different pre-built watch lists, and they're sorted alphabetically, we're going to go to Public R through W, and we're going to select S&P 500 Sector Indices. Now you see as we load this, kind of some cryptic symbols here. We don't really know what these sectors mean. We have to do some customization to this to make this useful. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click the gear wheel and hit Customize. Now, because sector indices in the S&P 500 aren't traded products, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of last price, net change, bid, and ask, and we are going to add percent change. Now, as you can see, the symbol really isn't helpful for us, so we're going to need a better description to know what sectors we're looking at. To do that, we'll remove symbol, and we will add description. And let's move that to the top and hit OK. And now you can see we have a watch list specifically built for the 11 different sectors of the S&P 500 sorted by percent change. So we can sort that by clicking this column header. And now you can see at a very quick glance, we can see which sectors are outperforming for the day versus the ones that are underperforming. Now, the last watch list I want to add to the sidebar is a custom-built dynamic scan. And this is something you can do using the Scan tab. So to start, I'm going to get rid of two of these filters here at the top. And we're simply going to create a dynamic scan looking at percent change. And we want to look at stocks that, let's just say, for example, are up 3% or more for the current trading day. Now, as you can see, as we scan through the entire market, that's going to be just around 1,100 stocks. Not very useful. So we're going to filter this even more by looking at stocks within the S&P 500. As you can see, as we do that, we are now down to 14 matches. So that could be a very useful watch list if we're looking to trade stocks that are moving for the day. Now, the other thing I'm going to do before I hit scan is I'm going to sort our list by, instead of symbol, we're going to go to basic price and quote, and we're going to sort it by percent change by descending order, which means the top of our list will have the largest gainers for the day, and the bottom of our list will be the least amount of gainers, at least 3% or more. So when I hit scan, you can see we now have that list of different stocks that meet this criteria of up 3% or more for the day. And it's sorted by this particular column already. Now, this is a static watch list. When we hit scan at that moment, these will be stocks that are moving 3% or more as soon as you hit scan. But throughout the trading day, this list could change. So that's why we're going to save this as a dynamic scan that we can load as a watch list. And to do that, we're going to go back up here to the top, click the action menu, and hit Save Scan Query. And let's just name this 3% movers. Hit Save. And now I'm going to go back to our watch list, add a watch list, and this time we are going to load, and let's just close this up so we can see this. I'm going to load under personal. There's our 3% movers, and it has this little purple icon next to it, and that means this is a dynamic scan that will be happening in the background throughout the trading day. So as we load this watch list, these symbols will update throughout the day based on that scan query. Okay, so now that we've created our 3 watch lists, now it's time to start linking some of these gadgets to different tabs in the platform. And this will allow us to navigate symbols quickly and efficiently throughout the trading day. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to link our trade tab to our 3% mover watch list. And you can see by default, the trade tab already has a linking of red number 1. And so we are going to link our 3% movers watch list to that same red number 1. And by doing that, as we click through this watch list, you can see the trade tab automatically updates based on what we've selected in our watch list. And I'm just using my arrows on my keyboard. You can use your mouse. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to open up the trade grid, and this will allow us to link some more gadgets within this trade grid. So as we're sorting through this, we can get some more information on these stocks. So the first thing I'm going to do is once again link the gadget you see here in the trade grid to red number 1, and by default you're going to have 3 gadgets listed. Let's lose the 2 on the right, and I'm just going to change this to 1 gadget. And by default, it will be set to level 2 quotes. Let's change this gadget by clicking the action menu. And I'm going to hover over gadget, and let's add live news. Now we have a news gadget built into our trade tab. So as we're sorting through these stocks, we can quickly peruse the news stories for the day. And to click that news story, you can just click on that and then read the news story or sort through the other news stories here. But now we have a live news gadget built right into our trade tab. The next thing I want to do is go over to the charts tab, and you can see it's already linked to red number 1. So as once again we sort through this watch list, our charts will update. Let's do some customization of our charts. So let's close our sidebar. Let's customize 3 things. We're going to change a little bit of the style of the chart. We're going to add some studies, and then we're going to add a second chart with a different time frame. So to start, let's go into the style section. We're going to hit settings. Now, to change the appearance of the chart, we're going to go to Appearance. To do that, we're going to go to Background, change it from black. Maybe we want a brighter chart. I'm going to hit white here, hit OK. I'm going to change the border up, the border color on the border down. Let's change that to a deeper red. And then also change the fill down to a deeper red. Hit OK. And maybe we want to fill in our up candle, so let's check mark this for fill up. And then finally, instead of having blue colored volume bars, maybe we want the volume to match whatever the candle color is up top. To do that, we can click this selection here, color as symbol ticks under volume bars. And now we have that all matching. I'm going to hit apply and OK. Now you can see we've changed the color of our chart. Now, what do we do if we want to add a study? Well, to do that, we can go to the beaker and let's just add some simple moving averages. So to do that, I'm going to type simple in my search, and you can see simple moving average shows up. Let's click that and hit add selected. Now by default, the simple moving average, this number right here, is going to be the default period. So based on our 1-day chart, we would have a 9-day moving period, but a lot of stock traders look at 3 specific moving averages: the 20, the 50, and the 200. So let's show you how to customize that. We can do that in the gear wheel here. And we can simply click in this length selection, and let's add the 20-day moving average. And the other thing you can do is you can change the color and weighting of the line. So you can change the width to a 3, hit OK, hit apply, and now you can see we've added that 20-day moving average. To add the other moving average, it would be the same process. Click the gear, the beaker. Let's add simple again. We're going to add this twice. And then you would go in and customize these to 50 and 200, and you can change the colors and style accordingly. Now, what if we want to add some studies below the volume subgraph? Maybe you want to look at a stochastic or some type of a moving average crossover. Let's add those lower chart studies. And we once again go back into the beaker, and we're going to look at 2 popular studies that a lot of stock traders use are the MACD and the RSI, and we're going to just click that and add those, and we're going to leave those to their default settings. And when we hit apply and OK, you can see those are now layered on top of each other. If you want to do this for every single chart that you add to the platform, and what I mean by that is if we click this and we wanted to add a second chart, we would probably have to go through and do this all over again. However, we can save some steps, and we can do that by saving a style. So I'm going to go back into our chart here, and we're going to hit the style button, and this time we're going to save style, and let's just call what we built here our 1 year 1 day MACD RSI, and then make sure you check mark the include patterns and study set, hit save. And now if I just go to style on this chart, I can load that style right next to it. So immediately everything I did over here I can add with one click. Now as a stock trader, you may want different time frames. Obviously we don't want to look at the same chart, so let's change this to a closer time frame. And to do that, we're going to click this button up here for time frame setup, and you'll have some default time frames built for you: 1 day 1 minute, 5 day 5 minutes, or you can go into time frame and build your own custom time frame. So we're going to click on intraday, and let's look at a 2-day 5-minute chart and hit OK. And if you want to lose any of the studies you build here, maybe we want to get rid of the moving averages because these are daily moving averages. Now these are 5-minute moving averages based on the period. May not be useful for you. So click in the beaker. Let's get rid of these by clicking the X. Hit apply. We'll leave our volume and our MACD and RSI, and we can clean this up by choosing how much room we want to see with these subgraphs. And then once you're ready, we can save this as a second style. This time we'll call this the 2-day 5-minute RSI MACD. Include patterns and study set, and hit save. Now when I go back to my watch list, because these are all linked to that red number 1, there you go. You can see we're now seeing 2 charts very quickly as we sort through this dynamic scanned watch list that we created earlier in the video. Okay, now that we've created our charts and customized some things there, let's get some information on these stocks. So to do that, we're going to go to the Analyze tab and hit the Fundamental sub-tab. And once again, we're going to link this to red number 1. And this page is a great page because you can get some information about the company, We can scroll down and we can see their financial data. If we even go down further, there's some tools about valuation and just some general company details. So a great resource to get familiar with a company that maybe you haven't traded before. And then at the top of the page, there are built-in research reports from analysts. So we have Research Team, CFRA, The Street, and Market Edge. And you can see what the ratings are on the stock. You can download those reports. But also you can create an alert if there's any ratings changes on a specific stock. And you can do that by clicking the bell. Now, we can do a specific alert for one stock. In this case, we could get an alert if this one analyst changes for this one symbol, any ratings, or we can cast a wider net. And to do that, we can do all providers. So if any research analyst changes their ratings, we can do this as a symbol or a watch list. And if you do a symbol, it would be loaded here, or we can click the watch list by clicking the gear wheel. And let's just, anytime any stock in the S&P 500 gets upgraded or downgraded, let's be notified. And I'm going to hit create. Now, if we go to our Market Watch tab and alerts, there you can see we have an alert active if any company rating changes for the symbols from the S&P 500 by all ratings provided. All right, now that we've got some things built in throughout the platform, let's go over to the Trade tab and let's work on building some custom order templates. By default, when you try to go and buy or sell stock in thinkorswim, let's click on Apple here. When you click the asking price, by default, you're going to see an order quantity of 100 shares. Now, well, we can change this a couple different ways. We can change the order quantity here in the order ticket manually, or we can change the actual default quantity when you click that asking price. And to do that, we can go to the Setup button, Application Settings, Order Defaults, and under Stocks, we can change that from 100 to whatever number you want. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 10. Let's click 10. And then I'm going to apply the settings. So now when I click the asking price, there you see we have an order default of 10 shares. Another cool feature you could do if you want more options for your order default is we can add some gadgets back into this trade grid. So to do that, let's add 2 more grids. And we're going to link these as we've done earlier in the video. And we're going to change these gadgets to the dashboard. And the dashboard is essentially a very quick access way to buy and sell stock throughout the platform. You can see there's buy and sell buttons and quantities, and these are set to our order default that we just set up in the application settings. But we can change these by right-clicking this link, and let's change this to 1, and we'll change this other one to 50. Now, if we click the buy button in this gadget, you can see 1 share pops up. If we were to click the buy button in this, we would get 50. And you can do this however many times you want. You can literally add more gadgets all the way up to this entire grid based on order quantities that you want to see. The other thing you can do is we can give the news some more room by shifting these over and really start to customize our layout in our trade grid so that we're maximizing the real estate within both the trade grid and the software in general. Okay, now what if we want to actually add some custom order templates? Maybe you have a specific way you like to trade a stock. And what I mean by that is maybe you buy a stock and you want to take profit if it goes up, let's just say $5, and you want to be stopped out if it goes down $2. Well, to do that, we're going to right-click the asking price, hover our mouse over Buy Custom, and we're going to use a special order type called an OCO bracket, which stands for one cancels the other. And I'll explain this in a second. Now, when we do that, you'll see we have our order quantity of 10, which is our default order quantity. We have 3 orders, an initial buy order to open the position, and then 2 sell orders, a limit, which would take profit if the stock went up, and a stop order, which would stop us out of our position if the stock went down. Now, the OCO, which stands for one cancels the other, means if either one of these got filled first, the other would automatically cancel. And so that allows you to work 2 orders at once without the concern that if one fills, you have this other order just kind of hanging out there. So how do we create that template I spoke of where we want to take a $5 limit or get stopped out on a $2 loss? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to change this opening buy order to a market order so we can get filled. Now, our first sell order is our limit order to take profit, and by default you'll see a price, but we're creating an order template. So to change this, I'm going to click on manual and select trigger, and now you can see there's a dollar value here, and I'm going to do the same thing for the stop order. And you can see we can change this to $5 up, and we're going to change this to $2 down. And now we've created this template where whatever stock we want to buy will go in as a market order. The profit order to take profit will be a sell limit order above $5 above our fill price, and then we'll be stopped out $2 or somewhere around there if the stock goes down. Remember, stop orders don't guarantee a fill at an exact price. And then the only thing we're going to do is we're going to change these sell orders to good till canceled, because maybe the stock that we buy doesn't go up $5 or down $2 that first day. So we want those orders to work more than the current trading day. Now, instead of confirming and sending this out, we're actually going to click this button next to the delete button, which is Save Custom Order Template. And we're going to give this a name. We're going to call this, we'll just call it 5 up 2 down OCO. Whatever you want to name that, that's totally up to you. Once you're ready, click Save, and I'm just going to delete this order. Now, we're going to right-click our asking price, hover over Buy Custom, and instead of selecting with OCO bracket, there you can see we have that custom order template that we just created. And when I click that, everything we just did is automatically built into the software. So the only thing we have to do is hit Confirm, review our order, and we're ready. Click Send. And those are just a few of the many ways that you can start customizing thinkorswim as a stock trader. Now remember, this isn't an exhaustive list. We could spend hours showing you guys ways to customize the platform. And keep in mind, everything we discussed today is simply for educational purposes only. Nothing is a recommendation of a specific security, strategy, or way to trade stock. Simply some ways to show you guys how to set up thinkorswim and customize it as a stock trader. So for more in-depth tutorials on the thinkorswim trading platform, head over to the Thinkorswim Learning Center at tlc.thinkorswim.com. For free investor education, log into your account at TD Ameritrade, check out the Education Center, and finally, subscribe to our YouTube channel and get notified when we release new content and videos. So thanks for watching the video, and happy trading.